What are human rights? To find out, we asked people what they thought.
Why are human rights important in your life?
Human rights are important in my life because in my life they're protected because I'm an American.
So rights are an agreed upon thing based on the group that you're in, you know. I would think that everybody wanted the same rights, and that is to, you know, to be free enough to just work and earn a living. But if you're stuck in a group where that right is not an option, then your rights are what they are, not what you want them to be.
Yeah. Can you give an example of just anywhere that you've seen human rights being violated?
All the time there's people that, you know, especially after the terrorist attacks in 9/11, we heard of and we saw the people that were religious in the Islamic religion, that they got treated really bad. But they were also Americans. You know, they were born in this country. Just because they choose to practice a different religion doesn't mean that they should be persecuted for something that a terrorist radical group did.
I will encourage the protection of human rights in the way that I live my life day to day, in conversation with other people, in how I raise my children, to respect the life of other people and other animals and just life in general, and how we vote and our political beliefs. Those are really good ways to protect human rights.
Should countries who openly violate human rights be provided foreign aid? Why or why not would you think so?
Countries that openly violate it should get aid because their people can't do anything about it. It's not like they can just make their government change things or not. So we should go over and help them, if anything.
Yeah.
What barriers or challenges do we face while establishing international policy on human rights?
There's a lot of barriers that we face. I mean, there's different policies in other countries. There's different cultures and different religions that we just can't change in them the way they do things in their country.
Joseph Kony, the leader of a Ugandan militia group known as the Lord's Resistance Army, referred to their actions in this statement. Is it bad? It is not against human rights, and that commandment was not given by Joseph. It was not given by the LRA. No, that commandment was given by God. Are the actions of the LRA justified by religious reasons? Why or why not?
There have been many holy wars over the centuries, and they were all supposedly done in the name of God, or and so no, I don't think that it's ever okay to use religion to justify killing God's people.
If it was from God, I think it would be a different type of message. I think that it wouldn't be going and killing people and persecuting them because of their religion. I mean, just almost a repeat of the Christian Crusades hundreds of years ago. That wasn't right either. It's not right to kill somebody because they don't believe in what you want them to believe, you know.
Actions are justified based on the amount of people around you who believe that the actions are justified. If you can get a good big group of people to agree with your line of thinking, that's what makes rights relative.
According to an April 2012 article in the New York Times, after 2006, Kony and the LRA rebels spread from Uganda to the northeastern Congo, South Sudan, and the Central African Republic. Knowing now the conflict is on an international rather than a national basis, do you support more or less the use of outside interference in stopping Joseph Kony and his crimes against humanity? Why or why not?
Well, I don't see why we would put ourselves in a situation to be in another war, but I don't see why those people should be jeopardized either. So I would say yes, I would take troops or I would take force over there to help them out because their rights have been violated.
Yeah.
Truly.
I mean, I'm sure we're doing something about it anyway. The United States is involved with everything, always. And it raises an interesting question of, does it work to quell force with force? their standard of living went down. So they noticed once again why they didn't like living near each other. So, I mean, whether it's sectarian violence in Iraq or Somalian pirates or wars in Uganda spilling over borders, I would think, that's something that the U.S. could help, and I guess I support it. I don't know. Seeing as how you always run the chance of making things worse just by interfering.
We have established some of the basic human rights discussed by our interviewees. These include the right to life, education, fair trial, protection from torture, and freedom of expression. These are all important to humans worldwide.
Joseph Kony and the Lord's Resistance Army have been abducting, killing, and displacing civilians in East and Central Africa since 1987. Since 2008, they have carried out their attacks in the border regions of northeastern Congo, South Sudan, and Central African Republic. Due to increased awareness in global efforts to stop him, the entire fighting force of the LRA has been reduced. However, their capacity for destruction continues to be excessively large.
According to the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the recognition of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. In order that we may all appreciate and value human rights as they may apply to every person, is essential in creating a global standard to be protected and upheld in every state on earth. The UN and other organizations have taken steps in establishing standards and policy to identify where human rights are being violated and punish those who commit such violations.